stay. I'm Nick, and welcome to my shop. Today, I'm going to just do a quick afternoon build to fix a problem with this lathe. And mainly that is just this handle right here. So, this handle here is used to raise and lower the motor, so you can tension the belt and everything. But what's really handy for it is to put your turning mask right here on it. And it's great, except when you walk by, or just tap it, or bump into it, and it just falls right off. So, I'm going to switch out that knob to a hand-turned one, and that problem will be solved. For this project, I'm going to raid my cutoff cart here, and this is just where I keep odds and ends, things that are nice pieces of wood that are just too small to go on the regular shelf for storage. And this contains a lot of handle blanks and other random assortment, and some of the stuff is really nice, and some of it I should probably just throw away. But you never know when you're going to need it. For this project, I'm going to use a piece of black walnut. This is a local wood to the area here and is one of my favorite, so I think this is fitting. The way this is put together is this is just threaded on, so yeah. Just need to know what that thread is. Because I was a sucker, I went and got this thread thing. You saw it on like TikTok and all the social media stuff. It's been super handy in the shop. Ah, that is metric. So I need a M8 by 1.25 bolt. And just like magic, I have a bolt and a piece of wood. I actually got a little ahead of myself here and didn't really film that process, but I drilled a hole and epoxied in the head of a bolt. It's just, it was a machine bolt that I got from the local hardware store. But this screws into the front of the lathe. Done. Problem solved. That looks terrible. I'll need to make that look better. So to turn this piece, I'm going to be using the Jacob's chuck. And that allows me to just grab onto this threaded post here and hold it like this in the lathe. I don't need tail support or anything. And this just slides into the spindle. Now, when you start turning, there'll be a little bit of vibration out here and they'll actually pop this thing loose. So to get around that, I have a drawbar and that threads into the back here. And this will hold this into the spindle so it can't come out. Now this is nice and tight and it can't come out because this is holding it in. These Jacob chucks are pretty useful. Use them all the time for drilling things in wood. But for holding, they are a great set of jaws. So for this project, I'm just going to use my spindle gouge, my roughing gouge. And just to make my life a little bit easier on sanding, I'm going to use my scrapers here probably at the end to get a nice smooth finish before I sand by hand. Well, you know, it's not the first time I had something come off the lathe. So what happened here is the bolt just pretty much came out of the piece of wood. And I had good epoxy adhesion, and even like encapsulated it fully. So you can see it had this like collar on it basically that really made it stick in there. But really the stress and everything from turning this around was too much and it just let loose. I should have been using tailstock support to, you know, help give a little bit extra support as I was turning, and then at the very end pull the tailstock away. But oh well, that happens. That's why you wear face protection. So I'm gonna get another bolt. I'm gonna drill this out a little bit more, glue it back up, and try again. For the epoxy, I'm just using a 5-minute 2-part epoxy. This is the same thing I use to glue in the barrels for pen blanks. And then I'm just using my square here to make sure it's in there straight. Okay, let's try this again. So, the whole reason why this came off is I didn't have tailstock support, which just provides that little extra support to make sure it doesn't move around as much. So to solve that, that should make it not happen. And I'll keep this on as long as I can until the very end, then I'll pull it away and I won't use it anymore. This is gonna get cut off. I need to know is the dimension down here. So this is the one off the lathe. Just need to take my calipers. Set it to that size. I just need to turn down to that size. The goal here is to sneak up on the correct size. So just take a small cut over and over again so you get it just right. Oh, that's perfect. Doesn't fall off anymore. And that looks so much better. I really love how this project turned out. It's just a simple 1 hour task to make a knob, but it really solves a problem that just annoyed me on the lathe where I couldn't keep my mask there. It would always fall off. And this thing is just gorgeous to boot. Like having this little ugly piece of aluminum on there, this really snazzes it up and also just adds to that woodshop vibe. So that's about it for this episode. Just a quick turning in the shop. I'm gonna be doing some bigger stuff in the future, but I had to take a break and fix some small little annoyances in the shop. So anyway, thanks for watching and have fun.